Welcome back to the shoot 'em up saga, development saga. So in the past months, I worked on the various systems of the engine, added a lot of stuff. Where should I start? I could start by showing the game. This is just for testing. I added some follow controllers. So these two parts are following the main player. The rotation of the sprites is baked. It's not made with like quad rotation in OpenGL, because I wanted to have like that feeling of retro. Well, I could have rotated it dynamically, but it's easier with the pixel collision, because we have pixel collision. We have triggers, camera speed, camera sideways. We also have boss stages, like if I shoot it and it will get to a stage. So this is the second stage where it's activating a new weapon, but it can't do anything because we have Lua. And if I kill it, it will big bang, same scripted, and also the fading is scripted. So let's see. First of all, we have a lot of Lua coding we can do for everything, even for projectiles, on collision, on updating. What else? We have a PSD tool that takes a PSD file and will convert it. It will make out of many layers. It will just put it tiled, like this one, for example. So this is just one 4 layers, and it rotated all the 4 layers of the animation. So animation is based on layers. Each layer is a frame in PSD, in Adobe Photoshop. For example, if I go to assets and I take this one, not that one, I don't know which one, turret maybe, yeah. So each layer is a frame, basically. One frame, second frame, and so on. And in the tool is rotating the sprite. It depends how many rotations you want. You have command line parameter stuff. Let's check it. So it's called PSD to sheet, not to sheet, to sheet. And it's crashing, of course. Help, I don't know. Well, it has everything for the sprite sheet generation. with some parameters, but I don't know why is it crashing actually. Let me run it in properties. Okay, no command line. Let's see what's the problem. Yeah. Parse result. Yeah, this library I took this library for parameters, for arguments, and I really don't understand it how it works. Why is it crashing? Yeah, cannot understand this stuff. Too much templating. Why is it crashing? I do not know. File name. Okay, maybe it's okay, it's not finding this stuff. Yeah. Okay, help. Let's try help again. Help like this? No. But this should work. No, I think I'm using these. Count. Okay, let's try this. If result count, this should work, hopefully. It's throwing the errors. I guess this should work. Let's see now. Come on. Nothing then? Loading, what? This sucks. But it should do help. Help. Yeah, I should just... Why? Okay, it's no help. But I'm asking it here, help. Stupid H. Come on. Whatever. So the tool is converting all the PSD files to proper PNG files, and you have like you can also output separate images as PNGs or make a sheet out of it. Also, if you want to skip the hidden layers or not, if you want to rotate the generated images, use nearest interpolation when you rotate the images. Start angle, end angle, step angle for the rotation. The PSD file name and the output PNG file name. So this is the tool. It's using some library. glib PSD and glib PNG. Alright. Next. Animation. Animating various parameters of the sprites. I also added a font resource, which is basically taking the character glyphs from a sprite. So you give it the codes in JSON and the kernings, the spacing between the various pairs of characters. Usually this is empty. And it will just give you the glyph sprite frame where the character is, the code, the Unicode. And you can render that specific frame, which is the character. So I didn't do any true type or whatever. You can draw your characters in Photoshop. Where is the text? Text. No text. Default font. Nope. Main font. Okay, this one. So it's just a sprite sheet with all the characters. I haven't added the numbers and other stuff. And fonts basically are like this. Whatever. So you just say what sprite this font uses and where it starts the glyphs. So I'm supporting these glyphs, Unicode codes, and some kernings for testing between A and V -2. And that's it for the levels. Now have layers, but I'm still working on the layers because I have them now in world space. So all the objects are in world space coordinates, so it's just a long level. But I want to make it parametric with parametric waves of enemies and scrolling backgrounds of tile sets. Right now it's just a long long level. So it will just be some repeating backgrounds. This is the parallax scale, basically the speed of the camera, how fast the layer is scrolling down, and if actually that layer is scrollable by the camera, because camera is moving up every frame, and I don't want to do that. Actually I can keep that, but I have to choose between timed events or based on camera position in the level. Music is the same. Scripting, I'm adding here all the exposed functions and classes, all kind of stuff. I'll have to make a document even for myself. I could put them in separate files, but I think it's okay. I don't think I will expose that much anyway. the basic stuff, and then it's just scripting and JSON editing. On that matter, I don't want to start building an editor because it will be like a never-ending story. The editor will take a lot of time to develop. So the game will be made just with normal editing of Lua scripts, and that's it. And JSON, I can do it by hand. Once you make the enemies in whatever, should be, it's easier. I mean, making an editor, it's quite a lot of work, and I really don't want to go there, at least not yet. At least I should make one full level, or I don't know, 3 levels. I know they work, and I know I kind of made it. After that I can probably start to make an editor for it. Yeah, so exposing a lot of stuff, not their final form, but good for now. What else? When I draw a sprite, I can draw it in using a color also, so that color can be added to the sprite, subtracted from sprite colors, pixels, or multiplied, because I need it for some fading, for some other things. So basically I have extended the hardware, the virtual hardware of the game with operation types, color operation modes, whatever. I still have to work on time maps. The units auto delete themselves on specific reasons. None, it will not delete itself. Out of screen when the unit is out of screen on any side of the screen. But I have to think about this, if it's really logic or feasible. Because if I have an enemy that goes on the side and then it wants to get back in the screen, it will be deleted. So I don't know, maybe I'll remove this. And this is end of screen, when it passes the bottom side of the screen, or left side of the screen, because now I'm trying to support also the horizontal shoot 'em ups mode, screen mode. So I have added health and max health. So this is the current one. This is kind of a constant. So we compute some progress bars when you want to kill enemies. Instance for weapons, all kind of stuff. Also, now we have for enemies, we have life stages. So if health is less than this trigger health, then the life stage will drop 1 index. So I'll go to the next stage, and that will be notified in the Lua. For example, the boss. Where is the boss? The boss. So on stage change, so when the stage is changed, the life stage is changed, Then we can check, okay, which is the new one, the stage 0. Okay, we activate some weapon, or we do some animation, play some animation. So for each stage, this is called once, when it changes. So this will be used for bosses, especially. And here you can also change the logic of the boss. So maybe it's starting to shoot and jump around more frantically because it's 50% life. Yeah, so pretty much. Also we have now each unit can have a stack of controllers, not just one single controller. So there will be a list of controllers. Controller is just a class in C++ that controls an instance of the unit. It can control any parameters in the unit. I have also added some auto aim for the weapons. When this is true, the weapon will auto aim towards the player. Probably right now it's using the player 1, but I will make it to auto aim the closest player. Of course, this can be extended, like if one player has less health, then auto aim will have priority to the weakest player, but that's maybe for the future. Also playing a little bit with beams, lasers. I will make a demo maybe. Yeah, so various changes, some events for the animations, key frame animations, which we'll call Lua. For example, when you want to play a sound when some event was reached, it's calling Lua. Yeah, I have to work on this one, anime waves. What else in here? Camera stuff. Yeah, I have to preload all the sprites because when I load a sprite dynamically, it will have to regenerate the atlas, which is a texture array, and that introduces a hiccup in the flow of the game, and I really didn't want that, so I'm basically preloading all the sprites in the sprites folder, and that's pretty much all the images in the game. And this shouldn't really take too much. I will think about if I'll do it per level, so that I will only load the sprites in a specific level, but I will have to either manually make a list of the sprites in that level, which is a bit tedious, or I should find an automatic way to organize. I don't know, I cannot organize in per level. Yeah, I'll have to find a way to generate a list with all the sprites in that specific level. But the problem is I also have to check the Lua files. I have to parse for some load sprite calls to check the file name with some regex or something. Yeah, I'll see. But for now I can just load all the sprites in the game. If the game loading will become too much, we could do it per level, but let's not optimize in advance. Early optimizations. Yeah. What else? Resource loading. The scripts can be reloaded on the fly. For example, let's see what I'm doing somewhere. Game. No player. I don't know. The idea is if you press, let's run the game. If you press F5, it will reload the scripts. And I plan to reload also sound, music, the textures, the sprites. So when I do this, well, you cannot see it actually, but it's reloading the sprites, the scripts. So it should be easier to develop. So this should be reloadable, animations maybe. Actually everything should be reloadable, but I have to check the dependencies. If I have too many pointers and stuff like that, it will not be really fun. But if I can make the unit instance, the unit controllers, and the sprite instance is serializable, so they should save their current state, then I can pretty much reload everything and deserialize the state back. But we'll see about that. Yeah, so a lot of stuff around here. We have pixel and bounding box collision. So this is the pixel collision between two unit instances and their sprite instances. I don't have yet some hash map for checking the collisions, but if it will become slow, I will make a hash space to check for collisions. But right now I can check even those teeny bullets for pixel collision. First I check the bounding box and then the pixel collision. This one was a bit mind-bending, but yeah, it works. Some utilities. And let's try to make a bit of modifications. Let's try the beam. The beam project, no, the beam weapon. So I have I think it's the secondary. Let's go to the weapons, to the end. I think it's the secondary. If I say beam and 40, okay, and run the game, hopefully it will work. I don't know. Yeah, so it's a bit of work in progress, but it also has it shouldn't do that, but whatever. It's intersecting the nearest object. Well, it looks like a dick right now, but not the final not the final sprite animation. So it has actually yeah, it's like a dick. It has 3 parts: the head part, the shaft part, and the balls part. Every part is a sprite with own animations. The text is also drawn in C++ right now, but I will draw it in Lua. The explosions are instantiated when, for example, projectile. So on colliding, the projectile is colliding. Maybe second one, I don't know. I think this is not the one. Maybe here. Yeah, here. Okay, so when it depends, you can do it on projectile side or on the enemy side. On collide, it's checking the collision. If it's pixel collision also, then this unit is hit with some value. If the health of the unit is equal to 0, then okay, delete me now, and instantiate spawn a unit resource, turret explosion, the name, and where is the actual turret transform position. Also, we have to take the layer index and also make the camera shake. I will clean this up, I don't like it too many. It should be just these parameters. And also fade the screen for the big no, this is fading the screen, but with white color, like a bright flash. And after the explosion is done, it will exist until the explosion unit is out of screen, end of screen. Actually, I should yeah, let me put back the weapon. Secondary projectile. So when I'm shooting a turret, it will make a flash, bright flash, and it will spawn the explosion. It spawned the explosion and made a flash. I should make a pause button. Okay. The background is just also some unit with a big sprite. The turret weapon has auto aim, and this is the boss. Stage 2 and stage 3, the death, and the camera is speeding up, fade out. Let's see the boss, the end boss. So if we are on stage 0, we activate gun 1. If we are on stage 1, we activate gun 2 also. Painting some text. If health is 0, then we delete the boss. We make an explosion. We also animate camera speed, that will go to from current speed to this speed with this speed, the transition time. And also we shake the camera, but we fade the camera in other where do we fade the camera? I have no idea where do we fade it. I think I have some kind of trigger entity or something. Let me see. This is the trigger. So we have a small trigger which is just a transparent sprite, and when we get to that trigger, we fade the screen to black. So when that trigger comes into view, it will trigger on appeared event, and that will fade the screen to black with color mode multiplication and some parameters like the speed. And if we want to loop back to the previous color of the screen, like for flashes and stuff like that. Units also have an age. We can use that for events. Yeah, still a lot of things that I want to clean up, like, yeah, I don't know. For example, I don't like the huge, maybe, I don't know, the name is too big, like maybe just root, or root frame, not animation frame. We know what's I don't know. Also, this is way too long. Maybe I'll just collapse transform here and just have root position, just to make the script simpler to and faster to edit. Yeah. What else? And for example, the text rendering, I do it right now just as a to do. Lot of to-dos. Yeah, just testing here the text rendering. High score, whatever. Please insert coin. Please insert coin. Draw text. But the actual UI, the HUD of the game will be in Lua. So for example, I have the screens here, like inter-level screen, in-game screen. So this will govern the what's rendered on the screen. I still have to figure out how to do the callbacks, but they will be in Lua. So C++, on the C++ side, after the engine is done, I will only have to implement controllers, but I'm really thinking about making these also in Lua, frankly. Actually, that's a good idea. So controllers are just, as I said before, things that do stuff on a unit, and you can stack them up like modifiers. This is the follow control that makes a unit follow another unit. This is the player controller with the update keyboard stuff. If key presses, control down. But I'm really thinking on converting them to Lua, because if I expose all the scripts objects in here, I have access to the engine stuff, so I don't need to recompile every time I modify some controller. Yeah, I think I'll do that. So I'll move controllers to Lua. After that, you just press F5 to reload the scripts, and that's it, basically. I could even make a file monitor to reload the scripts automatically, so you don't need the F5. And also the textures, the sprite atlas, the sounds, the music. I think that's the best choice, to have Lua and JSON, so basically data driven fully once the engine is stable. Yeah, that's pretty much it, I think. A lot of details, but details are details. So basically right now you can kind of write a game, I guess, after a bit of a cleanup. This is some, the black dots you see are some procedural enemy placement I was testing. I have seen it in some game, but I don't remember the game. Yeah, so the backgrounds will be just scrollable tile sets, and that's it. If I really want to put this, for example, this enemy on the same speed with a layer, I'll just, I don't know, make the speed be the same. Yeah, I'll have to figure out how to do it. Yeah, that's pretty much it, I guess. Animations like tracks with keys and time. A level is just a list of unit instances. The name, the unit resource, and the position in the world. But since I will yeah, it's okay, I guess, to be based on camera position. So it's just a big vertical world, the coordinates, and when they come into view. So this is the end unit. It's just a simple transparent sprite which you don't see, but has a position, and when it's encountered it will execute the onAppeared event Lua script, and it will fade to black. This is the list of levels. For now I just have one. Music. Player. A sprite has frame width, frame height, and animations. Name of the animation and start, number of frames, type normal, ping pong, reversed, FPS, frames per second, and repeat. If it's 0 it's infinite, else repeat n times. Projectile units. So a unit has name, what type it is, the speed in the vertical speed basically. The controllers can also have like here, they can have parameters like the follow class, what kind of controller class, and then it has parameters for the controller. Various things. What sprite is the root? All kind of sprite instances. Weapons for each sprite, and so on. The boss has stages, stage 0, 1 and 2, and the health where the stage is triggered is changed. So every time health is reached, it will goes from here to this, the last one. Weapons. Fire rate, how many rays we fire. Let's change it to 3, and we make them go faster. 4. So we will shoot 3 rays. So 3 rays, and they go faster. Let's make them go slower, and that would be -3. And it will cap the speed to this minimum projectile speed and maximum, so they will not go to 0 and stop. So that's the minimum speed. Let's make it even smaller, 10. Okay, let's try it like that. They should go really slow at the end. Yeah, but they still have a minimum speed. Minimum speed of 10. I'm destroying everything in my path. Oh yeah. The wave. Yay. Let's make some web here. getting slower. I am also thinking about making some pool of projectiles because they are way too many, so I want to have some faster access to the projectile. I don't want to create them every time. Easier on the cache also. Yeah, so okay, what else? Projectile speed, fire rate, let's fire 5 per second. Let's 1 minus 1. Let's put the speed a bit speedier. Now we are shooting less bullets. Yeah, so it's pretty much customizable. I will add other things when I'll get to them. The best way is to actually make the game to understand what's needed. So the next step is to clean up everything. I'll make also the controllers Lua and make the resources, all the resources, reloadable, and I'll probably serialize the state of various things. There are not too many. The instances, basically. Instance, sprite instance, unit instance, and weapon instance. Probably I don't think I really need weapon serialization. Yeah, should be doable. So if I do that, the engine is pretty much ready, and the big work will be on the Lua side and JSON and the actual pixel art, which I have to either buy from some artists or make myself. The music I can get from my brother. He creates music. Yeah, so that is pretty much it for this episode. We are getting there, but a lot of details. I'm checking the other games, and there is a lot of details you have if you look very closely. Like for example, the animations of the things. Sometimes I don't understand if this is an image or if it's made out of tile sets. Tile out of tiles. Probably it's like both, I don't know. And this is more or less simpler. If we check other Raiden 2, yeah, this also is quite complex if you analyze it. So is this a tile set or not? I guess it is. For example, the detail here, you see the tracks, they go into the water. How is that water done? I think it's alpha blending, which I do not support. Also, this island is made of tiles. I don't know. Yeah. The tank came from here, not from up, so I have to support enemies coming from the side, so when they come into the view at a specific vertical position, they start to move in, or I don't know. That's also details. And the tile maps, I think I'll make them with tiled editor. So yeah, let's take some random image. I don't know, 8. Yeah, so you use this thing to create tile sets, and then you create a map. And I can save this map in JSON file. Export as JSON file, and I can check that JSON, and this I can read it easily in my maker loader, and I take the index of the tile from the tile set. Let's export a tile set. Export. Okay, so it's pretty much easy to get all the info about tile sets and tile maps into the game. Yeah, we have to kind of emulate this. We have rotations, shadows. I need to work on the tile map stuff. And so, for example, this end of level will also be in Lua. When the trigger for end of level is reached, this will appear. We'll draw text, we'll draw some stuff, whatever. Not like here, but yeah, so in Raiden 2, they had the blending hardware, because you see it's like red and so that's why the water is blended with the backgrounds, but I do not allow it right now. I want to have it primitive alpha mask. So these are the waves of enemies. It's spawning. A nice effect to scale the ship when it falls down. I think I'll do that too. It's cool. Also, ship animation based on the key pressed left right banking. We could do that, but for example, I don't really understand. Is this? I mean, this has to be a tile map, right? It's not a entire image. I think it's made of tiles, like pieces, because this is the same with this one, Also the shadows probably are tiles. I don't know. I really cannot find any article or source about how they were done. Alright, so we'll see you in the next episode. Bye bye!